All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. So I wanted to make a video about the Ultimate Warrior, who is a professional wrestler with a really good physique, and a lot of people would say he probably had the best physique ever in the WWE/WWF. Now, I made a video about Ultimate Warrior several months ago, and it got a lot of views, and I wanted to make another video because I got a guy that messaged me on Instagram. And this guy had some very old, very rare pictures of Ultimate Warrior from his bodybuilding days that I wanted to share with you guys. And he also sent me a link for a very rare interview that Ultimate Warrior actually did with NPC News Online, J.M. Mannion, who is Jim Mannion's son. So there's a really good article here that I've got for you guys. I'm going to link it in the description below. But basically, he interviews Ultimate Warrior about his diet, about his training, about how he got started training. And there's all kinds of cool information in this article that I've never seen before. So I thought it'd be a really cool piece of information to share with you. Some of the stuff that he talks about is graduating high school, weighing only 155 pounds, and only being 5'10". And from that time to his career in professional wrestling, he was then 6'3" and about 275 pounds. Obviously, if you've seen a lot of pictures of Ultimate Warrior, this guy, 275 pounds, he was not a fat 275 pounds. This guy was absolutely shredded at 275. So like I said, a lot of people consider this guy, to have one of the greatest pro wrestling physiques of all time. So in this article, he also talks about his competitive bodybuilding history before going into professional wrestling. So he competed in the NPC. So here are the NPC competitions that he did. He says in Georgia, he entered the Junior Atlanta competition, and he won that. So that was an NPC show. 2 weeks later, he says he entered the NPC Collegiate Nationals, and he weighed about 209 pounds on stage. He placed 5th in his class at that show. Then he took a year off from competing, and then he came back in 1984 to win the NPC Georgia States competition. So after competing in and winning the Georgia States, he would go on to compete in the NPC Nationals, where he said he didn't even place. So then he went to do the Junior USAs in Beaumont, Texas, and he doesn't say how he placed there. So he says when he went to NPC Nationals, he weighed about 253 pounds on stage, which again, that is that's a big bodybuilder. So he says when he was training for the NPC Junior USAs, he was actually weighing about 280 pounds a week before the contest. And he says he was big, he was hard, he was ripped, but he was having some problems with holding on to water. And he ended up competing about 20 pounds lighter at the Junior USA competitions a week later. So he went from about 280 pounds down to less than 260 pounds in a week's time for that competition. So that's how his preparations were going for bodybuilding. So when he got involved in pro wrestling, he actually got contacted by Ed Connors, who was the owner of Gold's Gym in Venice Beach, California. So he would go out to California for a little while and train there, and I think he worked for the Gold's Gym and represented Gold's for Ed Connors for a little while, but that didn't end up working out. So eventually he got involved in pro wrestling. So I guess the guy that got him involved was Steve Borden, who's better known by his wrestling name of Sting, and this guy was also a bodybuilder. And I guess during the time that he was convincing Ultimate Warrior to do pro wrestling instead of bodybuilding, the Ultimate Warrior was actually training to compete in the Mr. Universe competition, but I guess Sting convinced him that there was way more money in pro wrestling than there was in bodybuilding, and told him he should give up on the bodybuilding thing and kind of try out pro wrestling with him for a while. So that's when he got started in wrestling. From about 1985 to 1986 was where he really got his start. So you guys can go on to read more of this stuff in this article. It's a really great article. It's a really great interview. If you Google search for it, you really can't find it. So I'm going to put the link in the description below for you guys to read this interview. It's a really great interview. So I also wanted to link this guy's Instagram page that sent me this article. His name is Ultimate_Warrior_Tribute. He also sent me some really good pictures. So the picture you're looking at here is from the NPC News magazine. So this was a bodybuilding magazine from the 80s. And until now, I only had a picture of the cover of the magazine. But this guy who runs this Instagram page actually sent me pictures from the pages within the magazine. So we have all kinds of great pictures of Ultimate Warrior training and little articles that were in the magazine about his diet, nutrition, and training and all that good stuff. So I wanted to share these photos with you guys as well, because I did not have these photos in the video that I made before. So I thought I could make a lot better video for you guys with these photos included and with this article included as well. So unfortunately, the Ultimate Warrior, whose real name is Jim Hellwig, passed away in 2014 at the age of 54, and the cause of death was a heart attack. So I kind of wanted to keep his memory alive for having one of the best physiques in pro wrestling history, kind of tell his story. A lot of people request that I make a video about him and his potential of could he have been a bodybuilder, because I make a lot of those videos about pro wrestlers that, trying to answer the question if they would have made a good bodybuilder. But this guy actually was a bodybuilder, and he was a good bodybuilder prior to being a really good wrestler. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Please give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Nick Strength and Power, signing out.